Alrighty guys, this will be my first YouTube video I think, but this is my 1978 F-150. I've had this truck now for a little over 6 years, I think. I bought it when I was 14, and it's been through a lot. This is its second cab, its second motor, its fourth rear end, and I think that's it. But yeah, it's been through a lot. So do a little walk around here and I'll show you some of my favorite parts, some of the stuff that I did that I'm very proud of. And honestly, it's a shorter list of the stuff that I haven't done to this truck. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get right into it. So this is my 1978 Ford F-150, like I said earlier. It's got a flatbed on it because the bed that was on it when I bought it was all rusted out. Found this bed marketplace for about 400 bucks about 6 years ago, with plans to either redo the flatbed, put an actual bed back on it, which I have one, it's just at home, but it's also rusted out and it needs a lot of work too. But the plan I'd like to do is redo this flatbed, cut all this diamond plating off, all this garbage off, because it's all rusted. Some of it's rusted through. You can see a big seam in it right here. It just doesn't look very good, and I'd like to redo it because I kind of like the flatbed idea, and I also want to incorporate my toolbox because I use this thing for everything. Like I said, I use this for everything. My toolbox, my extra parts, my straps, extra oils. I got a front drive shaft in here. Anything and everything you can imagine. Because all of that was actually under my front seat, which we'll get into now. This is the interior. And I'm pretty proud of this. It's mostly stock. Obviously 3 pedals. This has a 5-speed. We'll get into the drivetrain here in a minute. But a recent thing that I did was put door panels in it, because for the longest time I ran the doors without door panels because these were originally blue and red and didn't like them very much. So I've refinished them, painted them, and now we're all good. This seat I believe is out of an 80 truck, or an 82, because it's not quite the one that would have come out of this dent side, but it was in here when I got it, and it's pretty comfortable for what it is. It needs to be refinished. Obviously it's not great, that's why there's a cover on it, but you know, cover will do for now. And it needs floor pans pretty bad. I'm not going to show you because it's embarrassing. But moving up, custom headliner by me. Basically the way this came about was I needed a headliner, and I didn't want to buy one because one from LMC is like $500 or something. And I actually had all this trim work. I got it from a buddy of mine who had a truck that he was parting out, because mine didn't actually come with any of this trim. That's why it's white and rusted and doesn't really match. But you know what? I like the patina in it, so I'm going to keep it. So moving towards the front, this is a rear camera. Because I have a flatbed with a headache rack, I can't, look out the window per se. So I installed this camera to look at either a trailer or what's on my bed or just what's ever behind me. And it is one of the best modifications I've ever done. I love it. Aftermarket steering wheel is on here when I got it, and it's unironically the perfect size, even though it looks really small. Aftermarket tack. The only gauges that work in here are this one and this one. All the rest of them don't work because they're all down here. But, that's fine. You'll get that. Aftermarket radio, Kenwood. I got that actually as a present from my boss for working so hard. Shout out to P&J Lawn and Landscaping. Love those guys. And then moving on, shifter. This is a custom shifter that I bent up out of like a a Honda Civic tie rod or something like that. I don't even remember what it is. I think it was either a steering shaft or maybe a torsion bar. Not sure. Found it in the scrap pile. It was the right length. Made it work. And yeah, so bent it up, cut it to fit my transmission, and then put this ball on it, this baseball. It's also unironically very comfortable, and I love it. It's one of the things I'm most proud of. Over here, switches. We got rear camera, our horn. The reverse light actually turns on a light in the engine bay that I'll show you here in a second. And then this is my blower motor fan, because fun fact, that doesn't work anymore. So, and then these two, these are from Meek's Garage or Meek's Performance or something like that. They're basically billet aluminum knobs, and I love them. I didn't really need them, but I saw them one day, figured I'd support a local business, and yeah, I absolutely love them. They kind of dress the whole truck up pretty nicely, I think. So that's the inside. Ooh, fun fact about this trim. Story time here. This trim is called skinny trim. Fun fact about skinny trim, they don't exist anymore. I don't know why, but it doesn't. So it came with that piece and this piece. The original cab came with this corner molding. Somehow it got lost in over the 6 years. So I searched high and low, and my mistake, and I'm still kicking myself, I found a set of this trim 5 years ago for $80 for both sides of the cab on eBay, and I didn't buy it because I thought it was too expensive. So I ended up buying an entire truck for $500, stealing those two pieces of trim off of it, just those two, and then I flipped the truck and sold it just for that piece of trim and the one on the other side. It's crazy, but I think it looks way better with the corner trim. It drove around without the corner trim for years. I like it with the corner trim. That's just me. But moving on to the front. Actually, we're going to talk about the second cab. So, as I mentioned earlier, this is the second cab for this chassis. The first cab, and if I can find some pictures, I'll put them in here. The first cab was blue, and while I was in high school, actually middle school and high school, I completely restored this truck. I did all the body work myself. I did all the patch paneling myself. I did all the sanding and the primer and everything myself. It was a beautiful blue. I remember it was burnout blue. I went into a paint store. I flipped through catalogs until I found the color I wanted. Had him mix it for me. Painted it myself. Me and my dad sprayed it. And then as soon as I got it all back together and running and driving, I drove it to town that night. The next morning on my way to work, it was raining. I took a corner too fast and I rolled it. And I still think about that to this day. And actually, I think about that every time I see this dent on the grill right here, because this grill shell was the grill shell that was on the truck that I rolled. And evidently, or believe it or not, this grill shell was better than the one that came on this cab. So that's why it's still here to this day. And very sad, but now I have a truck again. So what are you gonna do? So let's take a look under the hood real quick, and I'll show you the drivetrain this has. Before I show you the drivetrain, this has been through, like I said earlier, this is its second motor. And it's its second motor because I blew the first one up in high school. The first one was a big block 460 out of a 78 Lincoln. I bought it at a swap meet for $200 with the transmission, so it was a full drivetrain. Um, Sold the transmission, sold all the accessories off, paid for that motor. I got a pair of heads for Christmas, and I remember that very vividly because I was looking high and low for a set of heads. Got them for Christmas, and then put it on, put the motor together. It had a mother thumper cam in it from Comp Cams, and I loved that motor. It made all the right noises a big block should. It sounded good. It ran hard. I loved it. And then I broke a distributor. Well, I didn't. The wiring came off and I didn't catch it in time. Wiped a cam lobe and broke 2 piston skirts. So I still have that motor, and I still plan on building it to be roughly a 572, maybe. Aluminum heads, maybe boosted. I don't know yet. It's kind of up in the air, but that's okay. But now there's a lot of money dumped into this motor and a lot of time. And I remember driving, I think I drove up to Jefferson City. One day I left at noon, drove up there in a truck that I borrowed, and then got it, drove all the way home. It was like I was on the road for 12 hours that day. But you know what? That's what we do for things we love. You know what I mean? But without any further ado, let's show you the goods. So this is a 96 460 out of like a F350. It's got Sanderson headers on it, shorties, because they're the only things that'll fit between the frame rails. And they're a little bit big for this application, but the goal is to put aluminum heads on it and bump the compression up a little bit, then we'll be good. However, that being said, this does have a carb adapter to go from the big block EFI intake to a 4-barrel standard Holley carburetor, because I didn't really want to bring in the computer and all that from the Ford stuff, and I just didn't like Ford ignition. So put a carburetor on it, put a standalone distributor on it. Is a MSD Pro Billet, but Summit brand, so it's a little bit cheaper. Same thing, a little bit cheaper. And other than that, it's all stock. It runs good, it sounds good with the mufflers and the custom exhaust that I got on it, and the thing just runs like a scolded dog. It's insane. This is a coolant overflow reservoir that is a Kraken bottle, because I saw it on a hot rod once and I loved it, and I still get compliments about it because you can see it through the grill. And that switch in there that I told you about earlier, the reverse light switch, turns on a light in that overflow that will glow green. And at night you run that, so you get, it looks cool. that's kind of it. But yeah, it's kind of a mess. It's all dirty right now, and I need a set of spark plug wires, but that's it. It's a big block 460 and a ZF 5-speed out of a 96 F350. Not the same truck. I got these at 2 different times because, I'm stupid. But you'll get that, I guess. And I'm poor, so that also helps. But yeah, this is the most efficient, inefficient big block you can have. The EFI 460 was the most efficient 460 ever made, except for the Dove heads. Those were pretty good. However, it's all mechanical. It's got a mechanical pump off of it, or on it. It's got a standalone distributor. It's got a carburetor on it. Basically taking all of the good parts of an EFI 460 and throw it away and put on a carburetor. What are you gonna do? I think it works good. I think it runs good. I think it looks good. And this is my baby. This is where most of my money went in high school, part of college, and now I have another money pig, but this kind of just sits. But I actually brought it up here, driving it again, and I absolutely love this truck. And yeah, many more things to come. I have lots of plans with this truck still, and maybe a tow pig. It's kind of what I'm thinking. Put a gooseneck on it, or it's got a hitch on it that I installed. So I appreciate everyone for watching this, and I hope you enjoy my truck as much as I do. So that's it. Signing off. See you guys later.